Life has a way of breaking us down. We experience loss, disappointment, and moments where it feels like everything we've built is crumbling. But what if I told you that even in the darkest valleys, God is working behind the scenes, not just to restore what you lost, but to give you something even greater? The divine plan behind your suffering. There is a mystery in suffering that often eludes our human understanding. When we are in pain, we naturally seek answers. Why me? Why now? But the deeper question is not simply why suffering exists, but rather what suffering can accomplish within us. From the moment sin entered the world, brokenness became a part of the human experience. Yet in God's divine wisdom, suffering was never meant to be the end of the story. It was meant to be a pathway. The trials we endure are not random acts of misfortune, but instruments of transformation, shaping us into the likeness of Christ. Consider the story of Joseph. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned, his life seemed to spiral into endless suffering. Yet looking back, Joseph understood that every hardship was divinely orchestrated. He later declared to his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Genesis 50:20. What if our suffering, like Joseph's, is not an obstacle but a training ground, preparing us for something greater? God's plan often involves a refining process. Just as gold must be purified through fire, so must our hearts be purified through trials. James 1:2-4 reminds us, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." Suffering is not a sign of God's absence. It is a sign that He is at work. But here is where faith is required. We may not always see the purpose in our pain while we are in the midst of it. It is only when we look back that we recognize God's hand guiding us through the storm. He does not waste a single tear. Every moment of hardship is woven into the greater tapestry of His plan. Even Christ Himself, the sinless Son of God, was not exempt from suffering. In Gethsemane, He cried out in anguish, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death." Matthew 26:38. And yet He surrendered. "Not my will, but yours be done." His suffering was not in vain. It became the means of our salvation. If the greatest act of redemption came through suffering, how much more can God use our trials to accomplish something far beyond what we can imagine? So when suffering knocks at your door, do not despair. Instead ask, what is God teaching me? How is He shaping me? What is being birthed in this season of pain? Your suffering is not wasted. It is the very thing God may be using to write your testimony, to strengthen your faith, and to prepare you for the greater purpose He has in store. From brokenness to redemption. There is something profoundly mysterious about the way God works through our brokenness. We often try to hide our wounds, cover up our scars, and pretend that we are whole. But in doing so, we miss one of the most powerful truths of the gospel. God does not discard the broken. He redeems them. Think about it. Every great story of redemption begins with brokenness. Moses, a fugitive and a murderer, was chosen to lead a nation to freedom. David, an adulterer and a fallen king, was still called a man after God's own heart. Peter, who denied Christ 3 times, became the rock upon which the church was built. And Paul, once a persecutor of Christians, became one of the greatest apostles of all time. What does this tell us? That God is not looking for perfection. He is looking for surrender. He does not expect us to be flawless, but He desires that we be faithful. When we bring our broken pieces to Him, He does not simply glue them back together. He transforms them. He makes something new. Like a master artist crafting a mosaic, He takes the shattered fragments of our lives and arranges them into a breathtaking masterpiece. Redemption is not just about being restored to what we once were. It is about being recreated into something even greater. And this is the beauty of grace, that in Christ, our worst moments do not define us. His love does. So if you feel unworthy, if you feel like you have failed too many times, remember this: God is still writing your story. And with Him, brokenness is never the end. It's just the beginning of something extraordinary. So if you find yourself in a place of brokenness, take heart. The same God who restored Job, who redeemed Peter, and who raised Christ from the dead, is the same God working in your life. Your story is not over. Your best days are not behind you. What you have lost is not the final word. God's promise of double restoration means that what is coming is greater than what was lost. Stay faithful, because your breakthrough is on its way. The strength to endure. Waiting on God's timing can be hard, but remember this: eagles don't fight the storm. They use the wind to rise higher. Isaiah 40:31 reminds us, "Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles." Your waiting is not in vain. God is preparing you to soar. Your story isn't over. No storm lasts forever. No pain is permanent. God is writing a story of redemption over your life. One day you'll look back and see how every broken piece was part of a divine masterpiece. And when that day comes, you'll understand. It was never about what you lost. It was about what you were becoming. So hold on. Keep trusting. Your restoration is on the way. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it. And most importantly, keep seeking, keep growing, and keep believing. Until next time, may God bless you on your journey, my friends.